one more day closer to Friday. I'm so excited. Okay. So we are doing our sentences of the day, and we have a group of friends who are playing hide and go seek. We have learned that we have the narrator, so the person telling us the story, is hiding in the garden. Jen hid in the shed. We have our friend Ted, who hid in the can of the garbage can, which I don't think I could do. Now what we're going to do is we're going to read to find out where everybody else is hiding. And then we're going to go and create our sentence. All right, here goes. Ben snuck around on tiptoe. I decided to make a run for it. I ran towards the tree where Ben had counted off. Next thing I knew, I heard the garbage can lid chatter to the ground, and Ted was running behind me. Then there was Jen. Ted and I made it home, but Ben tagged Jen, and she was it. We all hid again, and I saw Ben sneak into Mrs. Clark's yard. Where did Ben hide? You're right. Ben hid in the yard. So they were all racing to try to get to the tag. They all racing to try to get to the safe home. And who got it? Jen got tagged. So she was it. So then Ben got to hide, and he hid in the yard. So let's go write that sentence out.
All right. So we just read our story, and we found that Ben hid in the yard. So we have to write our sentence about Ben and how he hid in the yard. We've already written a sentence about I hid in the garden, Jen hid in the shed, and then Ted hid in the can. So now we need to add Ben hid in the yard. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to write that down, and we're going to remember that we always start our sentences with a capital letter. So Ben hid. So he hid in the yard. And we make sure that our sentence always ends with a period or a punctuation. Now we need to go and we need to cut our sentence in half between the subject and the predicate, the who and what's happening. So we're talking about Ben. So that's where we're going to cut our sentences right after him. So Ben, what did he do? He hid in the garden. So we're going to grab our three colors. Remember, blue, green, and red. And with our red, we're going to underline the subject. So who's our subject? Ben. So we're going to underline Ben in red. Hid in the yard. That goes in green. That's our predicate. That's what they're doing. He hid in the yard. Okay, so Ben hid in the yard. So our subject was Ben. Our predicate was hid in the yard. I'm again going to take my blue and I'm going to trace over my capital letter that starts my sentence. So Ben, he also gets capitalized because he's a name. It's a proper noun. I'm also going to trace over my punctuation to make sure that I ended with a punctuation at the end of my sentence. So Ben hid in the yard. When you're finished, take a picture and submit it into Schoology.